This is part 1 of worksheet 4 in unit 3. And I want you to notice that I drew a lot of details on this sketch. This is the front view, which is shown in the top left of the worksheet. And in the past, I've told you to try to keep it simple and draw just one shape and then draw on the face. But I'm going to show you in this video how to reuse a sketch multiple times, which actually makes your end part more robust to changes. So I'm going to finish the sketch and we're going to start with a simple extrude. And I'm going to extrude this section, or these 3 sections, I should say, in the center. And I'm going to extrude them 36. And we can see that I accidentally left a part out in my sketch. We've got this little notch accidentally here, so that's okay. In both Fusion and Inventor, we can just double click the extrusion, and that brings us back to either choosing the depth or choosing the regions. And so I can just click to add that region and press OK. Now, when you extrude in a sketch, the sketch gets automatically hidden. And so what we're going to do is we're going to right click it and click Share Sketch, which what that allows us to do is access it once again for a new extrusion. And so I'm going to click Extrude once again, and this time I'm going to extrude that base. Now the base, since the sketch is lined up with the back face of the shape right now, I'm not going to go the full depth of the base, which is 120. If I do that, it will be 120 all in one direction, and it won't be centered, which I want it to be centered. So instead, what I need to do is the asymmetric direction, which means I can go in both directions. And so then I need to measure from this back face how far I have to go in this direction and that direction. And those two numbers should add up to 120. So if this is 36, I can take 120 minus 36, which gets me 84. And then I can go half of 84 is 42. And so it's going to go 42 from the center in both directions. But remember that there's 18 on each side. So I have to go 42 less 18 to the right and 42 plus 18 to the left. So I believe that's 60. Not 42, 60. So 60 plus 18, which would be 78. 60 minus 18, 42. 42 and 78. Adds up to 120. So I'll press OK here. If we get our home view, we can see that that looks correct. Now I'm going to fillet the corners on there first. So we'll get the fillet tool and set the fillet to be a radius of 15. We'll have to turn our shape so we can see the back corner. And the reason that I'm filleting first is because now that we have these rounded corners, placing the holes in them will be easier. Because we can center them on that curved surface. So I'll click the top, and then we can choose to center it in the curve of each fillet. And then the size of the hole, these are counterbore. They go all the way through. So the top dimension is 20 for diameter. The bottom is 4 or 15. of 15 for the counter bore. Oh, the direction is messed up. Okay, there we go. So we can see that the holes are there, and if we go from the top, we can see that there's a slight difference in the outside diameter and the inside diameter of the through hole. The next thing I'm going to do is make the holes that go through this top part. And when I click the hole tool, you'll notice that Inventor actually pre-selects these 6 points because I actually made them points on my original sketch. And so points are often used for the location of holes. For these, we've got an outside diameter of 15, an inside diameter of 12, and a depth of 8. I'm going to let these go all the way through so that on the back side we can actually make those other counter bore going back towards the front of the shape. I'll do that right now. So I'm going to click the face and then the circle in order to tell it the location of all of these. It's also a good idea to use the hole tool to do multiple holes at the same time, because then if we have to adjust the measurements, we can do so with one adjustment instead of having like multiple hole items in our inspector over here. So I'm actually going to use the same exact hole parameters, because really all I'm looking for is this counter bore that goes down 8 with a diameter of 15. And so it doesn't actually matter that this goes all the way through the shape, because we already have a hole of 8 that goes all the way, or a hole of 12, excuse me, that goes all the way through. So now we've got the counter bore on this side. And this side, you can see a little ridge in there. So next, I'm going to use the hole tool one more time for those 2 holes in the top right and bottom left of the front. Again, we're going to want to use the sketch. And actually, since the sketch is on the other side of the shape, I'm going to go to that side so we can actually see it. So this is the top right hole, and this is the bottom left one, measured with 45 degrees. I know that it looks like top left and right now because we're on the back side. When we flip this around, it'll be correctly positioned. These are just simple holes that go all the way through, each one with a diameter of 10. So we go back to the home side. You can see that there's that hole and that hole. So now that we're done using that sketch, which we really used quite a bit for locating those holes and making multiple extrusions, now I'm going to right click it and uncheck visibility, which will make it not visible and not messy as we're looking at the rest of the shape. The reason that we do that, though, is that if we needed to make any adjustments to this shape, we could probably do that through Sketch 1, and that would affect all the extrusions that came after that. Instead of when we kind of do one extrusion at a time and sketch and extrude and sketch and extrude, sometimes that can lead to like a cascading effect of changes that need to be made that the program can't reconcile. So here I'm sketching on the side, and I'm looking for just the center of the holes. These go what would that be? 168 minus 19 minus 30 to get right in the center of the shape. So I'm going to go up 119. That's the whole sketch. I use the hole tool at the top of this. And here we don't want to go through. We'll just go a distance into the middle of the shape. And so here we can look at the front view. And we can just drag this, the actual dimension doesn't matter as long as it gets through the side here, which it does. Here we have a counter bore that has an outer diameter of 22. An inner diameter of 18. The depth of the top is 15. And so we can see just that little ridge there. It goes all the way through. We can then repeat that whole process on the other side, meaning we'll sketch and we'll put the hole through. I'm not going to make you watch me do that. And so you can see that hole on the other side. And then we are going to do one last sketch on the very bottom here. Oop, that is the wrong face. We're going to sketch on the side here in order to make a rectangle cutout. And so that rectangle has a width of 60. And so we're going to go 120 minus 60, which is 60 divided by 2 is 30. Find out where that rectangle starts. And we can draw that rectangle 60 wide, 5 high, and just cut it out through the entire shape. And that's how you finish part 1.